Hey there. Sorry if all the fans are going in the background. It's kind of hot today. It is July 30th. It's Thursday. Woohoo! We're getting to the end of July. Yay! If I had a life... Oh, sorry. Today's theme. Please hit subscribe. Please hit like on YouTube. Please comment. Please let me know what you think of the inspirational quotes, what you think about the Rebel cards that I'm using recently. Tell me what you think about daily devotions and what you would like to see on daily devotional. I'll be happy to see if I can provide that for you. If I had my life to live over again, I would ask that not a thing be changed, but that my eyes be opened wider. Isn't that awesome? I actually wrote a poem many years ago, and I talk about living your life with your eyes open, because when I was in junior high, okay, we're gonna take this with a grain of salt. So in some ways, I was a very perceptive teenager because of my gifts, and in other ways, I was completely naive and useless. Okay, so there's a huge dichotomy in my perception from the time I was a young child. And I wrote a poem when I was in junior high about living your life with your eyes open. Why don't people pay attention to what's going on around them? Can't they see? My dad and I my mom would want to go to the mall, and I hated shopping. And my dad and I would sit in the court and we would watch people walk by. And we would not talk bad about people, but he would ask me to pay attention. What are they wearing? What's going on with their life? You know, it was a fun game. And it taught me about what to pay attention to. And I think he honestly did that game because he wanted me to be more aware in ways that were more practical, because my gift awareness is not always very practical. I may know instantaneously whether or not you're a liar, you're going to cheat me, you're somebody I should run from, or whether or not you're trustworthy and you're good. And I can know instantaneously whether or not you're somebody that's not a good person in this life. And I also know whether or not I should run away from you. But those instincts, those gifts that tell me a lot about who you are, don't necessarily help me in a day-to-day interaction with how to cope with someone that is a narcissist, or cope with somebody who's a pathological, pain-filled person. It doesn't tell me how to cope with crazy people. It doesn't give me that. It just tells me all these things about, my gifts tell me about your past lives and your gifts and your totem tree and your spirits and your guides, but it doesn't necessarily give me the tools to how to interact with you in a day-to-day environment. And my dad taught me that. And I wouldn't change my life. There are a lot of things I've done that somebody from the outside in might say, hey, would you want to redo that? And I'm going to say no. At one point, I probably would have said something different, but now I say no. I don't really want to change anything. I would like to go through it again even, but with my eyes a little bit more open and with the self-trust, because that's the part that I missed. I had somebody in my life in my early years that really didn't want me to trust my gifts, didn't want me to trust myself, and was scared of me. And when you're scared of somebody who's gifted, that fear gets rubbed off. And I had trouble for a long time about trusting myself. Most of the time I do pretty good. There are times when I don't trust myself. And that's a real nitty-gritty life thing, that it's okay to struggle, because we're spiritual beings, but we live in this physical life, and it's hard. It's so hard. But I don't regret anything that I did. I don't regret my choices. I don't regret my decisions, because I know that they happened for a reason. No matter the grief, I can still feel that heavy grief and that pain from certain circumstances that I've been through, and it's still very heavy right here. But I also know that it was supposed to be that way. It gave me the long-term tools to grow from. It gave me opportunities, and it gave me the ability to know when the right time is the right time for the next thing. And I wouldn't have had that if I hadn't had the decisions that I made. So, no regrets, just knowing that it was supposed to be that way. And maybe if I could do it again, I would do it with my eyes a little bit more open. So today's card is number 39, free from judgment, free to love. Isn't that beautiful? I love the card's colors, green and blacks and browns. I love green. Okay. Imagine a world so infused with bliss, love, and wonder that you naturally always feel safe as a nourished, cherished baby in the arms of the universal mother. Life mothers us with kindness, and sometimes when we need it to grow, challenges as well. Accepting this mothering and its gentle, fierce faces can be difficult at times. Yet there are those brave enough in spirit to go forth into their life with absolute trust in the universal mother. Some are even part of her plan to help mother others so that they too can surrender fear and live more freely. Okay. I just want to touch on this. So there are those that are called, and it's, the Catholic Church used to talk about it. I read a lot, okay? So I make references to stuff. You're like, how the hell would you know about that? And I also do a lot of past life stuff. So take this with what you will. I like to say, take what rings true to you and leave the rest. Maybe this message isn't meant for you if it rings not quite true to you, and that's okay. But there are those of us that are called. And a calling is very much, I liken it to back when the Catholic Church would talk about people being called to be a nun or a monk. They felt the touch of God, the touch of the Mother Mary, the touch of Jesus to call them to a life of service. There are those of us that are called to a life of service that don't enter a nunnery, they don't enter a monastery, and they don't follow necessarily a prescribed religious regimen. But there are those of us that are called, and you know who you are. You are called to serve. And serving comes in so many different ways. I have been called to serve. I am a teacher. I am a spiritual teacher and leader, and I am called to do that. Not everybody's going to hear the message. Not everybody is going to be in that place, and that is okay. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's in the same place, in the same time, in the same universe, in the same realm of existence as everybody else. It's okay. But those of you that hear the call, and those of you that can do the work for yourself, will find that there is a carer there. There is somebody there to help you. And that's what somebody like myself is called to do. What do you think I do daily devotions? I mean, I'm in year 3-4 of daily devotions, and I have like 30 followers. Maybe one day this will take off. I make daily devotions for you. Yes, they're for me because they help me. Every day I've got a card to go by and I can do my meditations and my reflections. Absolutely. But I also do it for you because I care. And I really, really, really want you to know you are not alone in this. There is somebody out there that is a carer for you. Have a blessed day, and I will see you tomorrow in prayer. Blessed be.